Okay, Alex, let me back up just a little bit, all right? You've already testified that Joe Clyde peed in the floor, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that the defendant whipped him and that y'all went back to bed.
Yeah.
And what happened next?
I woke up from a loud bang, and then I didn't go in there immediately, but I sat in there for a couple of minutes, waited. Then I went in there, saw him on the floor. Joseph had beaten. And a couple of minutes after that, he took him out the door and laid him down in the yard.
Hey, let me stop you right there, okay?
Yeah.
What woke you up?
A loud bang.
A loud bang? What did it sound like?
It sounded like a thump. It's like,
And that woke you up?
yeah,
And so I think you said you didn't immediately go out of the room, is that right?
yes.
Why didn't you immediately go out of the bedroom?
Because I waited for things to cool down.
Okay. And you were in Big Joe and Belle's room?
Yes,
And then at some point, did you walk out of the bedroom?
yes.
And what did you see then?
I saw him laying on the ground.
Who was laying on the ground?
Joe,
Joe Clyde?
yes.
And what was the defendant doing?
He was about to pick him up and carry him out the door.
Okay. Did he take him out the door?
Yes.
How did he take him out the door?
This.
Can you stand up and show us what you're doing? And was Joe Clyde in his arms?
Yes.
Which door did he take him out of?
He took the back door.
He went out the back door?
Yes.
Okay. Now, was anybody else in the living room
Yes.
that you could see?
Yes.
Who was in the living room?
Noah and Joyce.
Okay. Can I show you another photograph
Yes.
of the living room? It's already been moved as an exhibit. Is this? Can you point to where Aunt Joyce and Noah were standing on here? Tell me where to move my arm to.
Put to the left a little. Up a little. Down, just a little. About right there where that fin is. Yeah.
Was anybody else in the living room?
No.
Was anybody in the kitchen?
Yes.
Who was in the kitchen?
Crystal.
Where was Crystal standing?
She was standing where the hallway is. Behind that.
Where the hallway is?
Yeah. Behind that cabinet.
Behind this cabinet?
Yeah.
Your Honor, may we have a sidebar?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you once more to step out. All right, it's been brought to my attention that Mr. and Ms. Nolan are here in the courtroom. If you would just raise your hand so I can, all right. I know this is a tough situation for you and to watch this young man have to testify for these things. The concern is someone indicated that you may be crying during this proceeding. It is completely understandable. However, we need to make sure that the jury is insulated from any sort of extraneous influence, if that makes sense to you. I'm not trying to be hard on you. I understand how hard it is to sit there and listen to this and not be emotional about it. But it is important that we not try to influence the jury. If you understand how the jurors might take watching you as the caretakers for this young man, be emotional about it. So while I want you to be able to be here and to listen to everything that's said in his testimony, I think it's important for us to try to control our emotions. Any of the lawyers and myself included in the staff also have to try to control our emotions so that we don't overtly influence the jury in some way. Does that make sense to you? All right, I'm not trying to be hard on you. I just want you to understand that we're doing everything we can to make sure that this case goes forward without any problems, all right? Anything further then before we bring the jury back? So.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Alex, you still doing okay?
Yes.
All right, bring the jury in. This one? Maybe you should come to it. No, I got it right here, I think. So.
Use that.
Once again, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I've told you all this, and I'm going to keep repeating myself. Sometimes I have to make a decision to ask you to step out of the room. You shouldn't attribute it to either side in this case. You should just tell yourself that it's that judge that's making me get up and walk out, because I'm trying to make sure that we do everything correctly and there's no mistakes, all right? Now, Mr. Crouch, you may continue.
Alex, you before the break, you testified that you observed the defendant carry Joe Clyde outside.
Yes.
Did you also walk outside?
Not immediately.
Not immediately? How long did you wait before you walked outside?
Couple seconds, like 30 seconds.
Okay. Did
It was a short period of time.
short period of time? How did you go outside?
I opened the door slowly, and then I put my foot out and my other foot out.
Out onto that back deck area?
hmm
Okay.
I tiptoed down the stairs.
What did you see?
I hadn't saw nothing yet until I got to the edge of the house.
Edge of the house? What did you see then?
I saw him lay Joe down, like he was already laid down, but he was on there on his knee, looking around. But then a couple minutes after that, he saw me.
Who saw you?
Joseph.
The defendant?
Yes.
He saw you
Yes.
peeking around the corner?
Yes.
And what happened?
He threatened that he would kill me if I didn't help him.
He threatened to kill you
Yes.
if you didn't help him?
Yes.
Did you help him?
Yes.
What did you do?
I tried to find something to do. I went over to the car, I opened the door and opened the trunk, and I told him to do something. I don't know what it was, and I don't know why he didn't do it.
You opened the door to a car
Yes.
and you opened the trunk?
Yes.
Do you know which car it was?
It was I think we only had one car. The rest of them were trucks.
Okay. You
I
remember
think.
you remember what color it was?
It was gray.
Okay. And what happened then?
Then he said never mind and to go back into the house. Then he walked down the driveway. Then I hid behind the edge of the house again. I went up onto the porch, but then went back down.
So the defendant started walking down the driveway?
Yes.
What had he done with Joe Clyde?
He had him in his arms.
He had him in his arms as he
Mhm.
was walking down the driveway?
Yes.
And what did you do?
I was watching him.
Okay. And what happened next?
Then whenever he got to the road and started walking down a little ways, I walked up the driveway.
You walked up the driveway?
hmm
What did you see?
I saw him walking down the road with him.
Carrying Joe Clyde?
Yes.
So if you're walking down your driveway which way did the defendant go?
He
at the
turned.
road?
He went right.
He went right?
Yes.
Do you know the name of the road in front of that house?
Old Diner Street.
Okay. And he went right?
Yeah, he turned right.
And where were you when he turned right?
I was still back up there. I hadn't walked down the driveway yet.
Okay.
Went up there whenever I couldn't see him no more.
How far did you walk?
I walked up halfway up the driveway whenever I first moved, then the rest of the way up the driveway. So second time I moved.
Did you go all the way to the road?
No, not all the way to the road. I stood at the edge of the driveway though.
Okay. And how long did you watch the defendant?
I watched him for a couple of minutes or so. Watched him walk down the road.
Could you tell how far he walked?
No, I didn't know meters, miles, or anything like that yet.
Were you scared of the defendant after he threatened you?
Yes.
After you saw him walk down the road, what did you do next?
I went back up the driveway.
And where did you go?
I went into the house.
Okay. What did you do then?
I went back into the room and I tried to go to sleep, but eventually I went back to sleep.
Eventually you went back to
It was
sleep?
hard, but I did.
When you went in the house, where were Aunt Joyce and Noah and Crystal?
Joyce and Noah were sitting at the window, I think.
They were sitting at the window?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. What about Crystal?
She was probably back in her bedroom. I didn't see her.
You didn't see her?
No.
Okay. So when you went back in the house and tried to go back to sleep, did you go into your bedroom or Belle and Big Joe's?
Bell and Joe's.
All right. And what happened the next morning?
The next morning he told me to get up and that my brother had run away.
The next morning he told you that your brother had run away?
Yes.
Now, did you go somewhere with the defendant that morning?
Yes.
Where did you go?
We rode down the road.
Okay.
We got to the car. We rode down the road.
All right. Now, let me ask you just a few more questions and I'll be finished, okay?
Mhm.
Were you supposed to go somewhere that summer with Crystal?
Yes.
Where were you going to go?
Kansas.
Kansas?
Yeah.
All right, I want to show you a photograph, okay? Can you identify this photograph?
Yes.
What is that?
That was our trip to Kansas.
Okay. And is that the same photograph that we see on the screen?
Yes.
I'll move that as the next exhibit.
It'll be marked as Exhibit 140.
Now, is that in the kitchen area
That's on that cabinet I was talking about.
that Crystal was hiding behind?
Yeah. And that is in the kitchen area.
Okay. What can you read from there what that says?
That says 60 days till trip. Wait. That says 60 days till Crystal and Alex leave for Kansas.
Were you going to go to Kansas?
Yes.
Who else was going to go to Kansas?
Just me and her, I think.
Okay. And do you know why you were going to Kansas?
No.
All right.
The night that she told me that we were, she said something. I don't remember what she said, though.
Okay. Just a couple of more questions. Earlier, you had pointed out a photograph of the coffee table that was in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see Joe Clyde move that coffee table?
No.
No? Did he ever push it around the living room?
Only on accident.
What do you mean only on accident?
Like if he was playing with his toys and he would push it on accident.
Okay. Did you ever see Joe Clyde climb up on anything and unlock a padlock?
No.
No.
I've seen him climb up on things, but not to unlock something.
Okay. Do you know where the key to the padlock was kept?
No.
All right. That morning, when you woke up and you testified the defendant said Joe Clyde had run away, how was Aunt Joyce acting?
I didn't see her that morning.
You didn't see her that
I
morning?
didn't see Noah either.
Did you go to school that morning?
No.
What did you do throughout the day, that day?
We looked for him for a while, but then we went back to the house and just sat there.